call this meeting of the Carson City Historic Resources Commission on Thursday, March 9th, 10th. To order. Can you call the roll, Danielle?
Chairperson Drews,
Here.
Vice Chair Schmitter, Commissioner Block,
Here.
Commissioner Hayes,
Here.
Commissioner Darney, Commissioner Smith,
Here.
Commissioner Spielda. Here. A quorum is present.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on items on the agenda or outside of the agenda, but within the Historic Commission purview? Hearing none, we'll move to item 4, possible action, approval of minutes from the January 13th, 2022 meeting. Have a chance to review minutes. You have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is approved. Item 5, meeting items. 5A, HRC-2022-0089. For possible action, discussion and possible action regarding a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors regarding a request for an historic tax deferment on property zone single-family 6,000 SF6 located at 500 Mountain Street, APN 003-241-04. Heather.
Thank you, Heather Ferris, for the record. This application is before you due to a change in ownership. When considering such requests, the commission typically reviews 4 items: the historic significance of the property, the current condition of the property, any alterations made to the property, and whether the property is in compliance with HRC guidelines. Staff addressed each of these 4 items in the staff report and found in the affirmative. We are recommending the HRC recommend approval of the tax deferment to the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, Heather. Any commission member questions or comments for Heather?
No, the house is in beautiful shape, so even with the addition, you've done a really good job, so.
Any other commission member questions or comment? Is there any public comment? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Let's see. I move to recommend to the Board of Supervisors approval of HRC-2022-0089 based on the finding that the request is consistent with the design guidelines for the historic district and the Secretary of Interior standards as noted in the staff report.
The motion, do I have a second? Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 5B, HRC-2021-045-0465 for possible action. Discussion and possible action regarding nominations for the 2022 Carson City Historic Preservation Awards for outstanding achievements in historic preservation. Heather.
So this item was agendized for discussion at your January meeting. During that meeting, the Bank Saloon was mentioned as a possible nominee. Following the meeting, staff did advertise the acceptance of nominations. None were received, so we're kicking it back to you for your selection.
Commission members, have any other properties you'd like to add for a preservation award this year?
I think the Bank Saloon is the shining light of the last year here, so I'm all for it. I can't think of anything else up in that caliber.
Anyone else? I'll entertain a motion then. I'm sorry, is there any public comment? Seeing none, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion. I move to nominate the Bank Saloon for the 2022 Historic Preservation Award in celebration of Historic Preservation and Archaeological Awareness Month.
A motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I have, I have one question after the fact. It's not only the Bank Saloon, but the Nevada Builders Alliance, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you want to amend the motion to include the? Oh. Yeah, do you want to amend your motion for the Bank Saloon and Nevada Builders Alliance, Greg?
Yes, sure, exactly. My very words.
Good. Don, did you second? Motion and a second on the amended motion. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries unanimously. Item 5C, HRC 2022-0088, for possible action, discussion and possible action regarding the 2022 Historic Resources Annual Scavenger Hunt, and to identify possible volunteer commission members to coordinate the scavenger hunt with planning staff. Heather?
Okay, so we're looking to the commission to see if you want to continue to organize the scavenger hunt for 2022. Also, we would be looking for a theme and volunteers.
Okay, anybody have any ideas for themes?
So what's the status of things? After years of my doing it, Luann's been doing it for, well, I don't know, haven't been counting, but a while. And so what's the status of your participation and, where are we?
I think we still have a bank of photographs. I'm not sure how many we've used or how many remain. I'm trying to remember what we've done. Windows, we've done fences, foundations, porches, chimneys.
I was thinking that maybe it would be good to take a style of house, like a Victorian or a certain time period, and that way we could have a little blurb about the character defining features of that style, and then have elements of that style represented in the scavenger hunt. So it would be a variety of different either shingles on the side or a chimney that's decorative, or some kind of decorative trim on the porch, that kind of thing. Just as a way of combining sort of the idea of a specific style that we have here in the historic district.
You want to do style or styles?
Well, it depends on,
It's selected like 4 different styles with characteristic elements. We could probably come up with 20
so
different photographs for people to match.
maybe Michelle could come up with the little descriptions for each style. The 4 different styles? Okay. So the 4 styles, okay.
Everybody kind of agree on that?
So
The other thing I was thinking about just driving around today was outbuildings and garages. You
Oh,
can see a whole lot from the street. That's another possibility that we can hit one of these years.
The one thing I like that Luann brought up was character defining, and I heard Michelle say, we can make this a teaching thing, because it's things that we wrestle with every time that we're here, that people don't understand what we do, what's character defining, what isn't, and so it might provide a nice little game, but an educational opportunity. So
Yeah, I think so. I think, just having a sheet with a style and some of or just a photograph describe the the characteristic elements, and then little snapshots would be really cool.
And we're so lucky to have Luann come up with the idea, Michelle, that has that background to help.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate.
So the
Somebody
ne-
has to take the picture.
The next question is, Luann's already volunteered Michelle.
And I volunteer Luann.
Are there any
I'll
other-
second it.
Anybody else want to?
I can help put together the photos. So we
I have
can
this
go
funny
over
feeling I'm going to be doing something. What do you mean? Yeah.
Let's just make sure, let's do the facade,
Mhm.
because if we start doing sides,
Yeah, it gets harder for them to
Mhm.
find them.
then we can talk to the character defining features of the facade.
Do we need a motion on this, or can we just go with that direction? I think we have. Todd, do we need a?
Need a warm body.
I think it's,
I don't think you
Discussion
necessarily
of
need a
possible
motion in
items.
particular.
I think we can just, I think in the past, we've just gone with suggestions and let our volunteers run with it.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Next item is 6, staff reports, discussion only. Heather.
So in January, you had asked for a report out at every meeting of change of ownership within the district. Actually, to date, we haven't received any change of ownership for this year for the district. I don't have anything else.
Any commission member reports or comments?
I have a comment. I just wanted to thank Heather for organizing my my packet here, my little tabs that take me to the different parts of the agenda. I mean, it worked fine, and thank you.
Christy did that. I'll send your appreciation on to her.
I just want to make the house over at, was it Nevada and King Street, the old Olkovich Myers house, they've been doing a lot of work on the facade there, and that looks pretty good. And from what I understand, the Brewery Arts Center has the property paid off. And they were going, and I don't know if they made it, but I think it might be a deadline for the SHPO grant to try to restore the rest of the brick on the building, so they were actively going after that this year.
Any future agenda items? That was really fast. How many administrative approvals did we have in the last 3, 4? Try and
We
remember.
had 3.
Yeah. Couple just came across my desk. One was.
One was a shed.
One was replacing a vinyl shed with a small wood shed. The other was removing some concrete and tying in with pavers that are existing on back parts. Okay, I guess our next meeting is May 12th. Is there any public comment?
Are you still on staff reports? I wanted to
Yeah.
report out on the
I'm
board's
sorry,
re-
Hope.
That's okay. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Okay, the board had a retreat on, I think it was January 25th, and they looked at redevelopment money. And based on the chair's annual report, the Chair Drew's annual report to the board saying, is there any money to help with maintenance in the district? I did point out to the board that we do have facade grant money that currently is not available in the redevelopment area for residential properties. And the board did say they wanted to stay with that program. They did not want to expand the facade program or the redevelopment program into residential properties. They'd actually rather focus on infrastructure as opposed to individual properties. So I did want to report out that they did have an on-point discussion based on the questions that you posed in the annual report.
Thank you, Hope. Any other questions, comments?
I just wanted to renote, last time, it's in your minutes if you read it there, that I had mentioned that we needed to discussed this notion of adding a final sign-off to approved applications, and we said we would put it on a future agenda, so I just don't want to lose that thread whenever that happens. So think about it.
Anything else?
Did that property owner with the windows, did she come back with anything?
No, she has not been back in with
Okay.
anything.
It looks like the Ferris Mansion is also being painted and
Yeah, I
attended
was
to.
gonna say, it looks like they've been scraping. And then I also want to say the whites on Spear and Phillips, they did take off the corner part where it looked like the big fort sticking out, and they did the metal railing. I think it looks a whole lot better. I think they did a good job.
Is there any update on the preservation trust meetings or the conference?
So typically, we would apply for the sub-grant for that, and they have delayed that, even issuing the acceptance of applications a couple of times. So at this point, I'm not positive. They said maybe in April.
Okay,
Middle of July, I believe.
I think it's in Cincinnati. Go see a Reds game. Any other questions, comments? This might be a new record. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned at